Hey Savvy people, it's Savvy Nick here, and today we'll be going through how to install the latest release of Parrot OS, which is 4.9. The team at Parrot has just made a new release and updated the install process to make it easier for beginner users, starting out with Parrot OS 4.9. I'm here on the Parrot OS website, where I'll go ahead and put a link in the description below so you can follow along. First, I want to go ahead and hit the Explore Us, which will just take us down a little bit and expose the navigation bar at the top. Here's some information about Parrot OS being secure, lightweight, portable, as well as free. But what we're interested in is the download section. So if we go ahead and click on download, we'll first download Parrot OS, then I'll explain how to flash it onto a disk, we'll boot that disk, and finally run through how to install it on an empty storage space of your choice. So going down a little bit, really the two things I'm interested in is the home and security version. If we go to the home version, this is the default standard desktop version without all the security tools. And then we have the security version, which contains the standard desktop, but also has pen testing, hacking, forensics, and tools that help you search for vulnerabilities included in the install. If you're new and stopping by to watch an install today, please take a moment to subscribe below and hit the notification bell for more installs. So since I want those security tools, I'm going to download Parrot Security, and I'll choose the default image here. So that comes with the Mate desktop. You can also get the KDE desktop. It should be a similar process in order to install it. And if you have a virtual machine, they even give you an OVA file, which you can import directly and use it as a virtual machine. So I'm going to go ahead and select the direct download and let the download begin. And if you have any problems, you can select a different server to download it from. As you can see, there's various different mirrors. We can select the European mirror and start downloading if that's the continent that you're currently located in. And now give it a few moments to go ahead and finish up. And now that I've downloaded the ISO, I'm going to launch and use the Balena Etcher app in order to flash the image onto a USB, CD, or DVD of my choice. So I'll go ahead to the start menu and just search for Balena Etcher real quick so I can start it up. Balena Etcher is an easy to use application available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description below if you want to download the application. You can also use any other application that can create a bootable disk such as UNetBootin or Rufus. Let's go ahead and select the image that we just got done downloading. As you can see here, I have Parrot Security 4.9, the x64 64-bit version. So this is going to be for a 64-bit computer. I'm going to go ahead and click it and select Open. Next, you'll select what drive you want to go ahead and flash the image onto. I already have mine inserted, in which it'll automatically populate. But if you need to go ahead and change which USB, CD, or DVD you want to flash to, you can do it through here. If you have multiple USBs, CDs, or DVDs, you'll be able to go ahead and select them from the list. Just make sure you select the proper one because all the contents of that USB, CD, or DVD will be erased. So once you're confident you have the correct one selected, you can go ahead and hit continue. Alright, and finally you can hit flash and give administrative privileges to Balena Etcher. After you flash the disk, you'll take it over to the computer or server where you want to install Parrot OS 4.9 on and insert it. Then you'll have to boot into your BIOS in order to change the settings around and select the newly created bootable disk to boot first. This is usually done by finding the correct key to enter into your BIOS for your particular computer. It's usually one of the F keys like F2 or F10. Following that, you'll find a tab usually called Boot Order and exchange the order so that the bootable disk is the first to boot. After you have that set up, you will save and exit out of your BIOS and you should see a screen similar to this if you did everything correctly. Alright, and if you went ahead and made it this far, please hit the like button. It really does help me out. And if you see the screen, you've successfully made it to the install portion. So there's quite a few options here, but as long as you don't have an NVIDIA graphics card, we're going to select the live option. If you do have problems while trying to install or use Parrot, you can try one of these three fail-safe methods. No mode set should be able to help you install NVIDIA graphics-based computers, and you can also disable both if you need to. But let's go ahead and boot into the live image of the system. Go ahead, press enter. Alright, and once the live desktop loads up, what we want to select is the Install Parrot icon on the desktop. Go ahead and open that up and make this a little bigger so we can see. The first thing we get to select is what language we want to run the installer with. American English, the default is fine for me. Make sure to go ahead and select whatever language that you want. And after you're ready, go ahead and select Next. Following that, we get to select what time zone that we're currently in. New York works well for me. If you need to, go ahead and adjust your region as well as your zone. You can also change the system language down here by hitting the change button. And if you want the proper date format, you can also change that down here to specify your locale. After that, go ahead and select Next. And here's where we get to configure our keyboards. So select whatever keyboard layout you have. The American US English default is fine for me. You can go ahead and test your keyboard by typing in this text field here. So if I type in QWERTY and I get out QWERTY, I know everything's working fine. So I'm going to go ahead and select Next. Following that, we get to select where we want to install Parrot OS onto. So what Parrot OS has detected is that we have an EFI firmware-based BIOS, and the current selected storage device is a 32 gigabyte device that I have available. As you can see here, I have no other ones. What you'll want to make sure is to select the proper storage device that's completely clear of any and all data, because with this method, we are going to select the erase disk method, which will erase any and all data on the hard drive that's being selected here. So make sure you have the proper one selected, otherwise you will lose any and all information on that storage space. After you've selected the proper one, you can go ahead and select the erase disk option. As it says, this will delete all the data currently present on the selected storage device, and we get to select whether or not we want some swap. I don't need swap, so I'm going to go ahead and select no swap since I have plenty of physical memory. Down below, you can select whether or not to encrypt the system. This just adds an extra level of security where you get asked for an extra password while booting up your system. I'm not going to select this option, but at the very bottom here, it shows you what's going to be happening to this disk. As you can see, there's currently nothing on my disk, but afterwards there will be an EFI system partitioned sector as well as a root file system that contains Parrot. All right, then I'm going to select Next once I have everything set in place. And here I get to put in whatever my full name is. I'm going to use Savvy Nick here. And I'm asked what kind of username I want to use. Savvy Nick works for me as well. And for a computer name, Savvy Nick is fine as well. This is what's going to show up on the network, so other computers will see you as Savvy Nick. Of course, make sure to go ahead and put in whatever username that you want to use and whatever host name or computer name that you want to use as well. After that, go ahead and put a password in for this user, and then go ahead and confirm that password a second time. Once everything's okay, you'll get a little check. And finally, select whether you want to log in automatically without asking for a password. I don't suggest using this because someone could simply restart your computer and have access to your desktop. So once you have everything put in, go ahead and hit Next. Now we're just given a brief overview of all the settings that we have selected previously. And if you're happy with everything, you can go ahead and select Install. Finally, the Parrot OS installer is just warning us that it's about to make changes to our storage space, so you won't be able to go back after this point. Again, since we've confirmed we have a storage space selected with no data on it, we'll go ahead and install now. All right, and now the install has begun. This will take a few moments. Parrot OS is a distribution based off the testing version of Debian that focuses on security, privacy, and creating an easy to deploy development environment for the end user. There's plenty of tools that you can use if you choose to do so. And the security version includes tools for pen testing, forensics, engineering, hacking, and privacy. This makes it a great distribution for the more advanced users who need advanced tools that can help in becoming a member of the cybersecurity community. It's a great alternative to Kali Linux if you're looking for a change, and it comes highly recommended by security users as well as developers, and it's gaining in popularity. Alright, and once the installer is finished, it'll tell you that it's all done here. So we're ready to go ahead and restart now. Make sure the checkbox is selected. And while rebooting, you'll want to make sure to go ahead and remove any installation media that you may have so you don't boot back into the live image of the installer. Otherwise, you'll have to reboot once again and remove the installation media in order to get to your newly installed system. So let's go ahead and press done. And here I got the grub menu, which means it looks like we've successfully installed things here. Yours may have automatically went ahead and auto-timed out and selected the first option. Go ahead and put your user password in to load the desktop environment. And if you see this screen, you've officially installed Parrot OS 4.9. Congratulations and welcome to your newly installed Parrot OS 4.9 desktop environment. Let's take a quick look around the desktop at this point. You can see a few icons here in the background. We have Parrot, which opens up a file browser to the root of the system. And then we have the current user's home folder, which opens up another file browser in a different location. The trash, as well as a README here. On the top left-hand side, we have applications available to us and subcategories of those applications. So some of the most interesting ones here are the pen testing and programming ones, which with this security version, you get because it installs those tools automatically. And what you can see here is there's a bunch of different tools that you can use, from password attacks to sniffing and spoofing, reverse engineering, and various other tools for vulnerability testing. Just to look at another subcategory, we can look at the vulnerability analysis and see that we have stress testing with a bunch of different tools for stress testing available to us. Now this doesn't come with the normal non-security version install, and if we take a look at programming, you can see we have a few IDEs available to us that we can use. Genie's very nice if you haven't used it before for development. Right of applications, we have places, which are just shortcuts to some of the most common places on the system. Next to that, we have system, which allows quick access to things like preferences, administration, and the control center. You can also shut down or log out of the current user from here. Following that, we have some shortcuts here as well, which is for Firefox, a default web browser, as well as a terminal if you need to go ahead and launch one, and Pluma, their default text editor. Right of that, we have the current resource usage. You can look at your CPU memory, as well as just get into the system monitor. On the far right hand side, you have volume control, as well as your current wired or wireless connection, and the current time date with a calendar widget if you click on it. On the bottom right, you can switch between 4 different workspaces, enable or disable the automatic sleep mode. And then on the left hand side, you have a start menu where you can access very much of the same subcategories that you could above in applications. You can also search for certain tools in here. Let's say you wanted a terminal. Here's your options for terminals. You can also click on a subcategory and get all the available tools for a subcategory. Finally, down here, you can log out or shut down the computer. And the last thing I want to do is just show you HTOP real quick. So we'll start a terminal and let's go ahead and run HTOP. As you can see, the memory usage is very low. It's 531 megabytes out of my 7.7 gigs available. The CPU usage is very low as well. It's going between 0 and 4% on the 2 cores. And then we have 66 tasks running and 130 threads out of those tasks. And as you can see, the various processes below running. This gives you a general feel of the resources used by Parrot OS 4.9. Well, I hope you enjoyed this installation tutorial of Parrot OS 4.9. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment section below. Also, make sure to subscribe for future videos and make sure to like the video. Thanks for watching.